Have you ever stopped to think about disinformation as an industry? Get this, it's estimated to be $1 billion business. A billion. That number tells you something really important about the lies we see online. It's not always about ideology. It's often just about cold, hard cash. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and look at how this whole shadowy business works and meet the folks trying to shut it down.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What's the real cost? Is it just, a weird article you scroll past? A moment of confusion? Or is it something more? The truth is, that single lie can ripple out and cause some serious, real-world harm. We're talking about everything from vaccine hesitancy to political division that's literally tearing communities apart. The cost isn't just social, it is very, very real.
All right, so when we talk about this real cost, what does that actually look like on the ground? Well, it's way more than just hurt feelings from an online argument. The consequences are spilling out from our screens and creating actual chaos in the real world.
And when you lay it all out like this, wow, it really hits you. This is the kind of research the Global Disinformation Index, or GDI, has been doing. They've uncovered this whole spectrum of damage. But here's the clever part. They're not just publishing academic papers. They're taking this data to advertisers and tech companies, who then use it to stop funding the sites that are pumping out all this toxic stuff. It's a really smart shift from trying to moderate content to just turning off the money tap.
So who's actually cashing in on all this chaos? This question right here, this is the heart of the whole problem. Because if you really want to understand why disinformation is absolutely everywhere, you've just got to follow the money. And when you do, you find this hidden business model that's literally built on lies. You can almost think of it like a digital gold rush. But in this world, outrage is the new gold. The more you can stir up, the richer you get. And the wild part is, it doesn't even matter if what you're saying is true. As long as it generates clicks, it makes money. And that's the twisted, perverse incentive that's fueling this whole machine.
And this is the light bulb moment that changes everything. It's not just about what people believe, it's about who profits. As soon as you see the problem that way, the solution becomes so much clearer. You don't have to argue about censorship, you just have to cut off their revenue.
Okay, so if the big solution is to cut off the funding, who's actually going to do that? Well, there's this one organization that has taken on this massive challenge. They're called the Global Disinformation Index. And honestly, they've come up with a brilliant strategy for dismantling the disinformation industry from the inside out.
Just look at how clear and focused their mission is. Did you catch that key phrase? Disrupt the business model. See, they're not trying to change people's minds one by one. They're trying to change the entire market. It's a direct attack on those financial incentives we just talked about, and it is a total game changer.
So how in the world do they actually do it? I mean, how does a pretty small nonprofit go up against a billion-dollar industry? Well, the answer is data. A whole lot of data.
They've got this three-step process. First up, they basically map out a country's entire online news world. Then, using this really sophisticated system with dozens of indicators, they pinpoint the riskiest sites, the ones that are consistently pushing these adversarial narratives. And finally, they package up all that intelligence and hand it over to the people holding the purse strings, the advertisers, the ad tech companies, and the policymakers.
And this is a super important point to get. GDI isn't a censor. They're not telling anyone what they can or can't say. It's probably better to think of them like a credit rating agency, but for the internet. They're not judging single articles. Instead, they look at a website's overall behavior and patterns to create a risk score. Then it's up to businesses to decide what they want to do with that info. And guess what? It's working. Some of the biggest brands in the world have used GDI's data to pull their ads from these sites, cutting off a huge chunk of their revenue.
So where is GDI actually making a difference? The answer is pretty much all over the world. From North America to Southeast Asia, they're right there on the front lines of this fight. This table just gives you a little taste of the incredible scope of their work. They're doing these deep dives on specific themes, like climate change denial or hate speech in Canada. But they're also doing these huge, broad assessments of the entire state of disinformation in a country like Germany. And they're not just focused on the West. They're doing these intense risk assessments of media markets in places like Thailand, Bangladesh, and Japan. It's a truly massive global effort. And let me tell you, GDI's work is more important right now than it has ever been. Why? Because this whole fight is about to get a lot harder.
New technologies are popping up that can create and spread lies at a scale that we've never seen before. And that brings up a really fundamental question. In this new world, who or what can we possibly trust?
This is really the challenge of our time, isn't it? With generative AI becoming so common, we're walking into a world where seeing is no longer believing. So, what are we going to do about it? Are we just going to let the liars and the profiteers win? Or are we going to build and support systems that fight for a future where the truth actually matters? The choice really is ours.